What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another Tottenham update for you today. Got some interesting topics to talk about today, and let's start off with David Ornstein from The Athletic, and he said yesterday that Dele Alli is not a part of Jose Mourinho's plans and he could depart this January, and PSG interest in the summer was very real.
Yeah, look, it doesn't surprise me. From what I saw on his video, I watched his video, it looked more like opinion than it was like any inside knowledge, to be honest. From Ornstein and people have run it as if like he's got some exclusive. I don't think he's saying he's heard from sources that Dele Alli's not in his plans. I think he's saying from what he can see, Dele Alli's not in his plans.
To be fair, he said the same thing at the start of the transfer window about Ndombele.
He did. He said something similar, didn't he? So I don't know if it's one to say, oh, Ornstein's saying he's set to leave, but there's no doubt about it. You can see at the moment Dele Alli isn't part of his plan, so it's not something like Ornstein's got some sort of exclusive on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
He's
be
just
surprised.
reading between the lines.
Yeah,
isn't he?
exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if he does leave in January the way things are going, because he's a confidence player. He's a player who needs to be playing regular football. And at the moment, he's not getting that at Spurs, and it's very hard for me personally to see him breaking into the team. Even if he is on good form, it's going to be hard for him to get into this team. So I can see something happening in January if things continue the way they are. But you never know. Maybe a couple of injuries, he gets back in the side. If he takes his chance, and maybe things change. Things can change very quickly in football, but those things stand at the moment.
We've got big Europa League games coming up, and we're going to need to be using the squad as well. You know what I mean? You've got Ludogorets coming up next, Antwerp coming up as well. You know, that Antwerp game could be a really big game in terms of the group.
At home, yeah, I guess, because if we lose that, then I guess we are a bit at risk. But look, I think he should get chances in Europa League.
He has got the chances in the Europa League. It's just he hasn't taken them, and he ends up going off at half time pretty much most of the game.
Every time. He hasn't taken any chance really he's had this season. He started it's easy to forget at the start of the season he was like, everyone had high hopes for Dele this season. I said at the beginning of the season he's going to have a big season. He started the game against Everton, right? So you can't tell me that Mourinho started him against Everton without him in his plans. You know what I mean? So obviously, clearly, he started the season thinking Dele was going to be a big part of his plans this season, but he just hasn't worked out for him. And I think right now, whereas someone like Pochettino might have played Dele through bad form to see if he can get back into form, Jose's not like that. If you're bad form, you're out. We got other players to come in, and that's how it is at the moment.
It's not like Jose hasn't tried with Dele. I thought he's tried really hard with Dele, and you could see in the documentary how he was trying. He put an arm around him as soon as he came in, Jose Mourinho, and that was clear for everyone to see. Dele reaped the benefits of it, but still just goes back into that cycle, doesn't it?
So yeah, consistency again.
Keeps going back into that cycle. And
what did he say at the beginning of the documentary? He said, "I'm going to be a pain in the ass for you because I would only because that means I like you."
Exactly.
He said it means I like you, and I think, as he also said, what Sir Alex Ferguson was the only piece of advice was to sign Dele Alli. So clearly he had high expectations. I don't believe for a second that Mourinho's come into this job or even to this season without a picture of Dele in his plans. But the fact of the matter is, the cold hard fact is, it's up to Dele. This has nothing to do with Mourinho. It's just Dele, because he's not taking the chances. He's not when called upon, and he has to do a lot better.
All right, there's a quote here from Toby Alderweireld on Jose Mourinho, and get your thoughts on it. Everyone has a certain idea of him, talking about Jose Mourinho, and that he can be really tough, but if you work for him, run through fire, then he really is on your side. But if you are going to be annoying because you are not playing, he will push you aside. Do you reckon he's talking about Dele in that last bit?
I don't know if he's talking about Dele specifically. But I think he's talking about the reputation that Jose has, and to be honest, you hear it from a lot of players who have worked under Jose that there's a lot of misconceptions about Jose and all these things, and like people think he's some hard taskmaster, and in reality he's not like that. Like Wesley Sneijder, I remember, had a glowing report of Mourinho. He's his favourite manager to work under. He made him feel 10 feet tall and everything. But it shows people don't really know the ins and outs of how he manages and how his man management, and people just see things on the outside and make their own conclusions.
Dele Alli's proper opinion on Jose Jose Mourinho right now.
Right now, yeah, but you know, you go back to a few months ago when Jose just came in, and Dele will probably have a very different thing, something very different to say about Jose. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts. But yeah, look, I think that's the way Jose is, and he can be quite unforgiving in a way. But I think as long as you're fighting for him, and even if you're not in the team, if you're willing to try your hardest and take your chances when you come, he's going to keep you involved. So, and that's what Toby's saying, I think.
And this is another quote on Jose Mourinho, this time from Sami Khedira. Says, because of his personality, he is always honest, direct, clear in his mind, and a great coach. Many people talk about him being too defensive, but he is a winner, he is a champion, and this is why he impressed me the most. I mean, this is coming from someone like Sami Khedira as well.
Yeah, who he played. I think Jose signed him, didn't he?
Yeah,
when from Madrid. And also going back to the Toby thing, this is a quote from a player as well who Jose has left out a few times. Yeah, a few times, and every time he's left him out, Toby seems to come back each time.
Toby's come back fighting every time,
and come back into the team. So he's proof. Toby's proof that if you keep working hard at your game and as keep being ready to come into the team, then he'll give you a chance back.
I felt like at the time Toby was one of the most excited for Jose Mourinho to come in. It just felt like that. He signed the contract pretty much straight away. You saw like his reaction in the documentary as well. I mean, I thought Toby was really one that wanted Mourinho to come in.
For sure.
What I mean?
I can tell that.
But look, let's move on. We've got an update from Alistair Gold. As the January transfer window is just around the corner, Alistair Gold has told us that Spurs will explore the possibility of signing a new centre-back in January. A lot will depend on how the club perform in the next month, with Tottenham set to face the likes of Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool. That's music to all our ears.
Well, you say that. What he says a lot depends on how we perform the next month. I'm not sure what that means, because if we do really, really well and win every game, isn't Levy just going to go, well, we're good now?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he's saying. Yeah.
Oh, but is he saying? But then is he saying if we do well, that will convince Levy to push the ball out even more?
No, I think it's the other way around. I think it's what you first said. Yeah.
You think it's what I first said. So
I think if we smash it out this next month, we're not going to sign a centre back.
Right. So I'm hoping we lose. Is that what you're saying for the future of the club?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get if there's a deal that's like too hard to turn down. I think we'll get one either way.
I can't see us signing. Look, the fact of the matter is, right now we have Toby Dyer, Sanchez, Rodon, Tanganga. Right? Can I really see us pushing the belt out for another centre back without selling one of those?
Well, maybe we will sell one. I think Davinson Sanchez is definitely available if the right offer comes in.
At the moment, that's how it looks. So that's how it looks for sure. And he's, we all know that Mourinho was never a big fan of him when he was at Ajax. So maybe that's coming to the fore at the moment.
I can imagine Davinson Sanchez going over to the German league and slotting into one of the bigger, maybe not Bayern Munich, but one of the bigger teams quite easily. Dortmund or Leipzig or something.
We'll probably have to take a loss on him though, won't we?
Probably.
Not too much. Maybe 30 million we could probably get for him, I reckon.
But there's defensive options out there. Skriniar, obviously, that we spoke about all summer.
Yeah, it won't go away.
There's Upamecano, but you've got to remember that Liverpool are going to be desperately looking for centre back this January as well.
Taking out Sanchez, maybe.
There has been those rumours.
There has been those rumours I've seen, but it's going to be interesting to see. I guess so if we do really well, then I guess we're not going to sign anyone. It's going to be interesting to see over the next month. It's good to hear that we're still in the market for a centre back, and even though we signed Joe Rodon, we still want another one.
Look at this. Like, whatever these things are in the press, you've got to take with a pinch of salt, because Alistair Gold also came out in the transfer window and said that we've got enough money for a striker and that's it. We're not going to be signing anyone else.
And he said there's no chance of us signing a left back. Although he did say if an opportunity comes, he'll take it. So that's fair. But he did say it was only for a striker we had money for, and we didn't know that. He didn't really know about the Bale deal until a couple of days before it happened.
Yeah.
So I guess you never look. You can't take it as gospel, but Alistair Gold knows his stuff. Usually.
Yeah, of course.
He's very well connected.
But in these kind of updates where it's not like a certain player or a certain thing.
Yeah, it's just here's bits and pieces. But I guess it'll be. I think we should obviously go for a centre back in January just to bolster our ranks. But I guess we'll see. Without one of Sanchez or whoever. I guess it's only really Sanchez. I can't see anyone else leaving. I can't see us signing a top centre back for big money.
Tanganga could go on loan, something like that.
But then I still think I just can't see us spending a lot of money on a centre back without one of those 4 leaving.
Yeah, I agree. And then you move on. This is a bit of connected to this one. It's from Christian Falk, who's head of Sport Bild in Germany, a very reliable,
he's quite reliable
publication out in Germany. His update today was Dele Upamecano. It's about him, and he says the decision about his future could be made in January. Then there'll be first offers from the interested Premier League clubs. He has a release clause of 45 million euros, which is cheaper than what we paid for Davinson Sanchez.
And he's like 5 times the player.
And he's been heavily linked to Bayern Munich, but he goes on to say that 45 million euros is currently too expensive for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, which is interesting because Bayern have, they're known as a club with money, and if that 45 million is too expensive for them, then again they do get a lot of their stars on a free, don't they?
True.
But look, he'll be unbelievable signing. He really would be. I can't see us being front of the queue, and I can't see us stumping up the wages that maybe other clubs might be able to offer him. But you never know. Like, for example, like Reguilon, I think he was an opportunity where I think it was all about timing, because I think we got very lucky with the Reguilon deal, because in another summer we'll probably be back at the queue. But this summer has just happened to be no one else was in for him, thankfully.
Well, we got there ahead. United were in for him. You know what I mean. There were still other teams in for him.
No, they were in for him, but they didn't want to pay the release. They didn't want to agree to that release clause in the contract, so that's why they rejected it. Maybe he would have gone there if they agreed to it, but it's all about timing. And maybe January maybe we could sneak in there with a bit of getting ahead of the competition. But if there are other teams involved, I find it very hard to believe.
Why wouldn't he want to play under one of the best defensive coaches in the world, in Jose Mourinho? Why wouldn't he want to come to Tottenham at the moment with the best stadium, the best training facilities? Yeah, he might not get like 300k a week, but he could easily get between 150 and 200
because of his agents.
And also, if we were to sign him for 45 million, Levy will snap their hands off of that, surely, with that sell-on value he could bring in.
I think, look, it's a no-brainer for me. If I was Levy, obviously I'll do it because it's a no-brainer. If he wants to come and if it's a deal that can be done, then it's for sure we should do it. But I question 45 million euros. I think is a very good deal. But are we going to put that money up without selling one? I don't know. Are we going to
offer them Sanchez and 20 million or something? You know what I mean?
Maybe that's not a terrible shout. Are we? What's it called? Is he going to come to Spurs when right now we're in Europa League and he get higher wages elsewhere? I don't know. Is he going to wait?
He is very young still as well. He's got a long.
He's
career.
22, isn't he?
He's got a career ahead of him. You know what I mean? He could be at Spurs for the next 5 years and still go on to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona.
Yeah, it's either whether he sees. Either he waits for like a super club like Real Madrid, Barcelona, goes there and decides not to go in January, or does he sign for a team like Spurs or like Arsenal or something in January?
We're not on the same level as Arsenal. We could be fighting for the Premier League for the next 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Arsenal are going down and down and down. Like, we should be held in the same kind of breath as Liverpool and Man City at the moment.
Well, we're in Europa League, so you can't really say that.
Yeah, but we won't be next season.
Yeah, I'm confident about that as well. I am confident about that as well. But I feel like there are a few teams ahead of us, and if they're in the queue, I just feel like if they're
I think the only two are those two clubs,
Liverpool and City,
in the Premier League.
I know, but if you got Chelsea, you got United. They're big clubs who can offer big wages. There are teams in Italy, maybe Juventus, obviously Madrid and Barca, if they come in for him. So it's a very difficult deal to be done. We have to hope kind of none of those teams are in for him.
Yeah.
And if they're not, we got a chance. But even if we do have a chance to sign him, it's another. Even then, are we going to spend 45 million on another centre back without selling one of our 4 centre backs?
We bid for Skriniar 40 million in January, but then we did side Rodon.
It wasn't 40. It was about 32. 32 apparently wouldn't go higher than that. So. And then we signed Ronan for 11 million. So yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think it's very difficult. I don't really see it happening. But I would love to be proved wrong. I would absolutely love to be proved wrong.
All right, and let's move on and let's talk about the Tottenham Women's team from last night. They played Arsenal in the Conti Cup. They drew 2-2 and Arsenal are winning the game on penalties. Arsenal went ahead in the first 10 minutes of the game. Tottenham levelled the game up twice in the second half, the latter coming in the 88th minute to send the game to penalties. Arsenal winning 5-4 on penalties with star woman Alex Morgan missing the decisive penalty.
Couldn't write it. Couldn't write it.
Yeah, so that's that.
Did she start?
No, she came on at half time.
She came on at half time.
And then resulting from that, this morning, Karen Hills and Juan Amoras, the managers of the team, have been sacked following their hard start to the season, poor start to the season.
Juan Amoras tweets us sometimes.
Yeah, he does.
So it's a shame. It's a shame that he's had to go. But look, I haven't watched. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really watch the women's team on a weekly basis, but I've seen the results. And the results haven't been great. Although they did win last game, didn't they? Before the Arsenal game.
They drew 2-2, I think.
Oh, did they
Bristol? Yeah.
Was it a late equaliser from them as well?
Maybe.
I think they were 2-1 up.
Maybe, but it's been a poor start to the season. But that could be a kind of put aside a bit, because they are a team that last season was their first professional year ever. So they're just becoming more of a professional team. I think maybe these two managers maybe belong in the division below. I don't know. It could. I don't know. It could be. But with the signing of Alex Morgan and a few other steps they're taking, I mean, they are taking steps forward. So hopefully they get in some new managers soon, and we'll see how they go. But we wish them the best of luck for the rest of the season, obviously. But it is worth noting that this game against Arsenal that finished 2-2, I mean, that's their best result against a team like Arsenal in so long. Because ever actually, because they only ever concede 5 or 6 goals to Arsenal, and suddenly they're drawing 2-2.
Yeah.
So it must be a bitter pill to swallow for the managers getting sacked after a result like that.
Yeah, when I saw the result, I was very surprised, because Arsenal women usually batter Tottenham women. Usually, really.
Arsenal are like one of the best teams in the game, and Spurs are just up and coming team.
Yeah, they're just like a brand new team. So usually it's a big mismatch, and Arsenal usually wipe the floor with us, but. That's not what happened yesterday. So it's interesting that that's the game that they decided to sack them after. But it is what it is, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Karen and Juan, we wish you the very best for the future. Now let's talk about the last of the international roundups. Finally, Premier League football is back this weekend. Let me just run through the final few Spurs players that played last night in the final day of the international break. England beat Iceland 4-0. Eric Dyer playing 90 minutes. Harry Kane playing 76 minutes. And Harry Winks coming on for the last 25 minutes and grabbing himself an assist.
Well, not much of an assist.
I didn't see the game. I just saw he got an assist.
He laid it off for Foden, who struck it in from like 25 yards.
Oh, right. What an assist. Come on, Tom Carroll style.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I thought... I didn't have much to do during the game. I thought it was pretty good. Kane, I thought had a really good game. I thought he played really well. He played really well. He was a bit of an all-action display. Unlucky not to get on the score sheet. And Winks had a decent cameo coming on for 25 minutes.
Belgium beat Denmark 4-2 with Toby Alderweireld and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg coming up against each other. Worth noting, there was a brilliant own goal in there by Nasser Chadli. I think it was actually given to Courtois.
Was it?
I think so in the end.
Why did he touch it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, unbelievable own goal by Chadli. He plays it back to Courtois from about 25 yards, and Courtois just miscontrols it and it rolls into the back of the net. Brilliant stuff. And actually, we were talking about yesterday, 75% of our goals have come from a Højbjerg tackle or pass. Exactly the same happened with Denmark yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, Højbjerg wins the ball, plays it into Eriksen, who sets up the goal.
Wow.
So starts for Højbjerg doing it for Denmark as well.
And Wales beat Finland 3-1 in a decisive match in their group of the Nations League, as Wales topped their group, as Joe Rodon played 90 minutes. Gareth Bale played 62 minutes and grabbing an assist at it as well. Ben Davies did not feature as he was suspended. But you watched this game, didn't you?
And yeah, Joe Rodon played as well. Bale played an hour and was looking quite sharp. I was watching.
Apparently he was watching it on the pitch.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so for that first hour. I thought he played really, really well. He was that assist was a nice, nicely weighted through ball into Harry Wilson, who slotted it home. He was unlucky, really unlucky, not to get a goal when there was a ball across the face of goal and he was there at the back post to slide it in. But the keeper made a really good save. Although Bale will probably feel like he shouldn't have given him a chance to make the save. But it was a really good save from the keeper to keep that one out. And a few times he was beating men, getting shots off, forcing the keeper into saves, looking threatening, looking sharp. He got taken off after the hour, but he didn't look tired or anything when he got taken off. So I think signs are promising. Still wasn't top form. He still looks a bit rusty, but he's definitely looking sharper by the game. And I thought, again, it was another step in the right direction for Bale yesterday.
Yeah, and the quote from Gareth Bale after the game was that, yeah, it was good. Wales are looking after me, taking me off after 60 minutes, and Tottenham will be very happy about that as well.
Jose probably was calling him. That's probably a phone call from Jose. Like, oh, yeah, lads, it's been an hour. Come on, take him off now.
And finally, Ireland played out a 0-0 draw with Bulgaria, with Troy Parrott coming on for the last 5 minutes. Obviously, it finished 0-0, so nothing to note there. But that is the international roundup of the day. The Tottenham update of the day. The internationals are over. Now we can concentrate on Tottenham as Premier League football is back, and it is the start of a mad run for Tottenham Hotspur. Man City this week, Chelsea next week, Arsenal the week after. Let's go for 9 points, people. Come on. That is the Tottenham update for the day. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.